at the stage. Okay, folks. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is Nev the Disruptor. Once again, let's create a banner. Let's put my phone number here again. Boy, Nev doesn't remember his phone number after now. See, yeah, it's just letting these things. Still a baby in the technology world of going live and creating a stream. Yeah. Where's my number? Okay, here we go. 347 670 3816. At the banner. And what's going on today? Never. Okay. All right. Well, we got something. We don't have never the disruptor, but we have the number. At least we have the number on the phone and the site. All right, people. Today, this episode is going to be basically on why Republicans are susceptible to fraudsters, charlatans, con artists. You know, Republicans have been going a slippery road for a long time. It didn't start today. It didn't start with Trump. Yeah, they haven't been holding the people accountable. They're politicians. They want to think that they're better than Democrats. But one area they're really weak at, and they really don't do a good job, is holding their politician accountable. Yeah. So today we have seen, we have seen many of the worst people, those people without morals, ethics, integrity, has have reached levels they shouldn't have reached. A lot of them should be in jail. Period. A lot of them should be in jail. But Republicans were not holding these people accountable. They reward them for making up all kind of wild conspiracies. You know, all kind of every time. Like Matt Gates is a perfect example. Every time these people would do something that were criminal, they would get rewarded. They would actually get rewarded for their criminality. That's why Donald Trump was able to walk in and take full advantage of them. Because they were giving every criminal a pass, a free pass, instead of sending them to go to jail, like that famous game. What's the famous game name? But instead of sending them to jail, or saying, "Hey, you cannot represent us no more," they would actually reward these people. So right now they have the worst of the worst rewarded, representing them. They literally have the worst of the worst representing them. And Donald Trump is like the king of that. How many times he has lied. His first admission is like 30,000 times. He's going to lie another 30, 40,000 times more. It doesn't matter to him. You know, the only thing that has actually stopped, stopped the slide of um, of Republicans getting to a deeper trends is the Epstein files. Yeah, yeah. For some reason, they don't want to forgive Donald Trump on that one. Yeah, yeah. That Epstein file is like all of a sudden it's like the what pill, the red pill or the blue pill? Which one is it? Let's go with the blue pill because we'll go with the blue pill because the blue pill signifies Democrats and that feeling of hey, the Democrats were right. Gotta be like gotta give them an upset stomach, a major headache, and all that stuff because that's the last feeling they want. So we'll go with the blue pill. You know, the blue pill to represent the Democratic Party, and now they have to take the blue pill and swallow it. And now it doesn't feel good because everything they hold will is coming apart. It's literally coming apart. And this show is about that today. Is about getting Republicans to wake up, you know, because they need to do that. Because it's going to get much tougher, because Donald Trump has the belief that tariff can work magic. You know, he does. So he's not going to give up on his tariff. He's not. A lot of these business people believe that at some point he will just give up. But one thing Donald Trump does, when he believes in something, he doesn't give it up. He will come back and back again. He pulled it a whole bunch of times, but it's coming. The tariff is coming, and all of them, and that big beautiful bill. Like a lot of people, a lot of Republicans, the one that's still in that trance, still in the delusional state, want to talk about. The big beautiful is going to be very painful. It's not going to be so beautiful. Yeah. It's going to give them a wake-up call that they might never forget for years to come. Because that big beautiful bill is for 10 years. You know, it's literally for 10 years. So we have a lot of pain to suffer. So that's why I'm trying to tell them they need to wake up now. Not that they can do much of a change in any of these things, but at least they can prepare themselves for what's coming. They need to prepare themselves for what's coming, you know, because it's going to get much worse. It's not going to get better. There's no end of the tunnel. You can't see the I can say you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's pure darkness. It's getting darker, folks. That tunnel is getting darker. There's no light coming out from that tunnel because we haven't reached even at the middle point of the pain. We haven't reached that. We're not there yet. When you see a lot of companies going under bankrupt, then you can say we haven't reached about the middle part. I see a lot of companies that all these wealthy people, rich people that actually believe Donald was good. Donald Trump, give us a tax cut. Give us a tax cut. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be great for the economy. It'll be great for this. It'll be great for that. Yeah. I worked in financial. I know many of these people because all they see is that tax cut. That tax cut is good for their business. But it's not good for business when you eviscerate the middle class. That's not good business. It's not good business when you eviscerate in the middle class because you need people to buy your stuff. You need people to go vacation. I know I work for a company that owns a lot of real estate. Hilton Hotel, a whole bunch of real estate. Biggest equity firm in the world. They need people to go on vacation, rent a place. So when you eviscerate the middle class, you're actually making these people less likely to able to do any of these things. You're gonna see a whole drop in property prices. It's just going to fall out like like back on that in the 90s when we had that when they were um, they were mortgaging, they were packaging um, um, properties in a fund and sell it, and that crash. So you're gonna see a crash. The crash is coming. It is coming, and and Republicans, especially MAGA, they need to start realizing that, and at least try to make some preparations because they put us there. We are in this position because of you. You won the game. You won the game. You were playing the game. Winner takes all. You won. You know what they say, Pyrrhic victory, but this is not a Pyrrhic victory, because usually Pyrrhic victory, you have some pain and thing. This is a game you should have never been in because politics is not a game, folks. It's about life. It's about life. You're playing with people's life. That's what you're doing. This is not a game. It's not my team, the blue team, and you're the red team. No. And Republicans forgot that a long time ago. To them, it's just a game. We're going to crucify the world. We're going to, okay, we'll stop the work, stop the day, stop the that. No. They forgot about people. They forgot about caring about people, respecting people. They forgot all these things, simple things, you know, simple, basic things, and they have forgotten all about that, So it's going to come back. It's going to come back. And now they try to destroy the founding fathers' vision. They basically try to destroy it. They help bent on destroying it. If you let them know you're here, every time I listen to politics, and I'll talk to them, I'll say it over again, over and over again. Politics and Parker debates, Trump supporters, those guys are excellent. And sometimes I just shake my head to hear what comes out of Republicans' mouth. You know, the depravity, the corruption that comes out of their mouth is, it's unbelievable. Sometimes you're just like, is this people human beings? Did they actually become a different type of creature? Yeah, yeah, because they don't have any empathy in them. They're agent provocateurs. You know, they're, they're talking heads got them to kill um, their own one of the most important, essential characteristics. That's one of the most empathy. the ability to empathize with everything in nature, you know, somebody else. That's why we don't see each other like the worst because of color, you know, what ethnic background, whatever. We don't see each other in the worst light. You know, it's a reason we don't do that because we care for them. We treat them like our brothers and sisters. And for some reason, Republicans do not like that. Yeah, as you can see, many of the farmers voted against their own interests. Many of the farmers, and you may ask why they did that. Why was that? Very simple. They did not see the illegal immigrants working for them as brothers and sisters. You know, they just see them as people to take advantage of. And they despise the people. They had a hatred for them at the same time using them. Because it's easy when you dehumanize people to see them as less than you. They're lesser than me. I am good. Yeah, I am good because what? I am the owner of the farm. It's my farm. I am the yeah. You know, in financials, when I used to work in financials, a lot of managing directors think they were the masters of the universe. It's the arrogance. You want to see arrogant people? Go work in financial. Go there. Oh, wow. It's like you can cut it with a knife. It's so thick. Yeah. Because when you make money, yeah, and you live in a high rise. Yeah, and you have everything catered to you. It takes hard work to not to see yourself as a special human being and be over everybody else. You see, because that comes easy. You have plenty of money. You can do whatever. You can vacation well. You can actually buy a small island like Epson and call it Epson number 2 or whatever. So it takes hard work not to be arrogant. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. When you think you make a difference, people have to answer to you. You can change life just like a snap of your finger. So I've been in that. I've seen it. I've seen it. People I won't even say hi to you. Hey, you're too much of a small fish for me to waste my breath on you. Now, I'll see another managing director or vice president come and hey, I'm all happy. I will say hi to that person. Yeah. But you? I don't talk to the cleaning with people. No. Don't waste my breath on them. And arrogance is something that can come easy to us. Because when we want to feel special, that's why we have to guard against these things. We literally have to guard against arrogance, hubris, and not to treat people, not to ill-treat people, see them different than us. Because that can come very easy to us human beings. We can feel special. We can make ourselves special for anything. Special because, you know what? We come from a certain country, and that other group came from a worse country. That country is deplorable. It's what? It's poor. It's. Yeah. Oh, we have a certain color. Oh, Oh, uh, it's one thing that's been our downfall in history for so long is that color thing. It's hard to see. If somebody's a little lighter than this person, a little darker than this person, a little whatever, or he came from a country, he has a horrible accent, he speak, he can't speak, he barely can say English or whatever, you know. Yeah. And these are all things we have to overcome, seeing each other as human beings, guarding against our own, you know, own flaws. Because we all have them. We're human beings, you know. So we have to guard against hatred. We have to guard against bigotry. We have even, myself. I'm not beyond that. So it's a constant battle. Because like I said on my last stream, our brain has an actual brain of itself, and it thinks of crazy things a lot of times. That's what it does. It's a thinking brain. So if we have to, the way we regulate our brain to think in the proper manner is constantly thinking of good things, and constantly when the bad things come in our head, we got to dash it away. We got to say, no, that's not how it is. That's not how it should be. And the more we do that, the less we are likely to think of negative thoughts. But if we give into negative thoughts like Naga has done, you're now seeing the outcome of that negative energy. That negative is extremely high in MAGA. The hate is extra. It's like cutting the hate for immigrants. The hatred for immigrants. Wow. Yeah, it's off the charts. And you can see it there. Trump has convinced so many of them they're better. Oh, they're better. They're better. Number one, they're better than immigrants. Number two, they're better without them. So number one, they're better than them. Number two, they're better without them. And that's what our fathers are learning. And no, you're not better without them. You need them. They are vital to you, to your business, to your life, to your everyday life. They sustain your life. And they give you a good life. And in turn, they get to support their family. Yeah. But it's not being better. It's just that they're in a more worse predicament. And where they come from, where they are coming from, they're running away from danger. They're running away from trouble. And they're trying to come in and make a better life. And a lot of MAGAs cannot see that. Every time I listen to politics and Parker debates Trump supporters, you could see the twisted morals and ethics. Even last night there was a lady talking about she knows her stuff, but and she was talking a lot about the abortion issue and when life starts and all this stuff. And then Paco tries to make a comparison about somebody being on life support, and if it's okay to pull the tube. And she said yes, because that's not life to her. The person honored you, yeah, that has that has gone through stages of different life. Just that person now being a Jew is not considered to be life, you know. And and I've said it and I'll say it again. One of the places you'll find some of the most twisted morals and ethics coming from is in religion, is religious people. That's what it is now. Their morality, for many of them, their morality is upside down. It's not morals. It's not moral. It's not ethics. It's not ethical. Yeah. Can you excuse me? 1 minute. Hey, what are you doing the line? I'm gonna have to go cut this piece off. Can you turn the light back on? Give it a one. That's okay. Okay, folks, I'm back. So, like I was saying, their ethics is very twisted. And she was trying to say that's not life. And I'm like, how come that's not life? But something in the petri this is considered life, you know. So it was weird. And she was trying to say, um, if you destroy something in a petri dish, you actually can go to prison for that. Like, wow, wow. But it shows us when somebody, and that's what it is. Her views are so narrow, and and rigid that to her, every fertilized egg is life. Even when it's outside the human body, it's still life. You know, and I have said that, and I'll say it again. A woman's body has over 1 million to 2 million eggs, folks. That's 1 million to 2 million eggs. And time they reach puberty, they have lost over 500,000 eggs. You know, a man body through his lifetime has over a trillion sperms. Trillion. Can you imagine that number? Can you imagine if a woman could have that much babies? And it's not out of the possibility because nature can, nature, when she's ready, she's very dangerous. So she could she could find a way to speed up the process. Yeah. If she wants us to have more babies, nature will create a virus that affects us. And all of a sudden, instead of um, 9 months to have a pregnant, we go to 3 months, so 2 months, and a woman, and 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 a woman can have 3 or 4 kids. 3 or 4 kids within in every pregnancy, just about every pregnancy. Yeah, that's why I believe, like I said, there are two critical points coming. Yeah, religious people believe they have the high ground on that matter, but they don't. There are two critical points coming. One, you know, robots going to become sentient creatures. They are. They're going to are able to feel, smell, taste everything like us. That that is coming. And two, babies are going to be created outside the mother's womb. That's another thing. So a baby will go through all the processes outside the mother's womb. And free, and there's free sex is only going to be for sexual fun, for having fun. Sex is going to be like, there's no carrying the child, having sex. Those things are going to happen. You can write them down because at some point, I might not live to see it, but some of you might. And you're going to say, hey, Nev said that, what, in 2025? In August of 2025. Never, who was that guy? There was a guy on YouTube with a heavy accent and he barely could speak properly. But he said that August, is it August 21st? It's August 21st, 2025. And here it is. What? At that time, I was just a child when he said that. Now I'm what? I'm 60, 70, and these things are happening. Because if you look at our history, folks, take a good look. Take a good look. Take a good look at our past. If you were able to time travel and you go back in the 10th century, your knowledge, the knowledge you have, you'd be a god. Just the knowledge you have of things can exist. Not that you can do it, but you know they can exist. And there's a way to do it. You would be a god. But if you were to travel the same amount of time into the future, your knowledge would be obsolete and irrelevant because the future would have changed so much. Folks, that's what we don't take. That's what we don't appreciate. We don't see it in that sense. We don't have an appreciation for those things. We don't. So we cannot see that the knowledge we have today, if we have that knowledge, living in the 10th century, we would consider to be gods. Because we are gods to some creature in our body. That creature cannot survive without us. When our time expires on earth, so is the creatures. They're all going to die. Every living creature in our body are going to die. Because we are it God. He ain't going to look outside us for another God. It might be making the same mistakes we are making. And I mean, the creature in us might be making the same mistake we are making. We're praying to one God. It's inside praying to us. I was like, oh, yeah, this guy's a God. This guy going to answer my prayers. Yeah, we can't hear, just like God cannot hear nothing we're saying. The creature in us can don't know. The creature inside of us don't know. We can't hear it. Yeah, I am joking with it in a serious way. Think about it. Think about it. Just like God can hear our prayers, the creature inside of us that depend on us, staying alive, that's how it stays alive. A lot of them go through the same processes we go through. Die, reborn, die. They go through that too. Yeah. They go through that. They go through the very same processes we go through. Yeah. So we are its universe. And when we expire, that it world all of a sudden crumbles. Yeah. But we don't see things in that light. We don't see ourselves as being a universe to something else. We don't recognize those things because we get a vision that something is actually living inside of our body. Yeah, for a lot of people, the only thing they can vision live inside our body is a baby. That's it. Besides that, nothing else. They don't realize they have living organism all throughout the body. Millions and millions of living organism. That's how we still alive. That's how we age. And I believe that's how we can reverse aging. I also believe we can reverse aging, folks. Like I said, you're going to hear a lot of controversial stuff on this thing. Lots. Okay. That's how we age. Is the viruses on our body and our skin. And if we can find a way to activate them to go in the opposite direction, that's what we need to do. And some people might have come up with a solution already, you know. So, yeah, uh, you're going to hear a lot of controversial stuff on this channel. If you want some really, like, stuff you have never heard before, I've never think of it. I was thinking this morning, and let me go back when I was saying about charlatans. I was saying why Republicans are susceptible to these people. And I was thinking because when I was younger, I got into watching anime, and uh, I got to say, Japanese people, man, they have great minds. They do. So Naruto, Bleach, Death Note, or that's for adults. You don't want your kids watching that. You don't want them to become, might go on the dark side and they will be very good at it. So no Death Note. But those things, man, they really tell you a story they can go backwards in time to forward in time and keep you riveted to the story. And I realized the reason Republicans are susceptible to these people, these charlatans, these fraudsters, you know, this snake oil salesmen, the reason they're susceptible is because their number one, their ability to imagine is not there. The ability to foresee things, to have the foresight, to have, it's not there. You know. So they fall for these people. And you will it will be so obvious as we go along because Trump has to prove himself to his supporters and he won't able to do it. Yeah, the first time he got, he was going really downhill, and because of the coronavirus, that basically made people forget how bad he was because the coronavirus came, and a lot of people, you know, did not get the full Trump, the full Monty. Yeah, they did not get it. Yeah, and they were willing to give him a second chance, and then, and like I said, and I will say it again. You'll hear me say this over and over. Trump was one of the best politicians I have seen. You know, he activated, the Republican had primed their people to see conspiracy theories everywhere. Everything was a conspiracy theory. And a lot of MAGAs just do not have the wherewithal, they do not have the critical thinking skills to see, to see beyond these things, to see people trying to use them and take advantage of that. They just didn't do it. And plus, the number one thing Republicans were able to do is to create, is to turn politics into a football game, a gladiator sport. So, and you can still see that a lot of it today. It's my team versus the red team versus the blue team. And a lot of Republicans believe they play the sport. They're playing, hey, I'm on the red team. You're the blue team. I don't like you. And they want to believe like we don't like them. But it's not that we don't like you. We don't like where you're taking the country. You see, they don't realize that. We are interested in the country, in the betterment of the country. And we believe that if the country is doing good, everybody's doing good. Everybody's striving forward. But they see red and blue. It's a gladiator sport to them. That's why you see a lot of them going to be reluctant to give reluctant to be pulled out from the alternate reality. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. A lot of them, and that's what Trump is counting. He's literally counting that at some point that about 35% of his followers will always be there for him. They won't abandon him, whatever, no matter what. Now, and I'll tell you again, Republicans, when Trump says something once or twice, that's the truth. You want to hear when Trump tells you the truth? Just listen to him. If he says something once or twice, like the snake story, I think he told the snake story once, because that's the truth. Maybe twice, but no more than that. That's the truth. And there was something else he told. When he said, I only want your vote, I do not like it, but I only want your vote, that was another truth. He will tell you the truth. He just won't say it more than once or twice. So those things he will say once or twice, that's the truth. I think he said that once. At some rally, I can't remember. It might have been Michigan or somewhere. And he told the people, I don't want you. I don't like you. I think he said, I don't like you. I just want your vote or something to that effect. I don't remember this thing. I don't have a photographic memory. As you can see, you will see that Nev doesn't have a photographic memory. My memory will give me a lot of trouble to pull out words, names, things I should know. It doesn't like to always go for it, believe me. It's a difficult process for me. But I don't know when he tells the truth. You listen to him. You said something once or twice. Like the Epstein, when he told people, why are you still interested in Epstein files? He said that once. That's the truth. He really meant that one. When he said, why are they interested in that guy been dead or whatever. That's something to that effect. It's been long gone, right? See, that was once. That's how you gotta listen to Trump. When he's saying something about like I like the boats and getting electrocuted and shocks, that's a that's a story for to get you to hate, and it has happened to get you to hate you know uh, electrical vehicles, solar energy, renewable energy. That's what I'm looking for. Renewable energy. And it has happened because I remember some story about a New Hampshire company. They were installing solar all over, the in New Hampshire, that area. I think it's called Northeast or something like that. And there are people because Biden had put in place the technology act was, I guess the I don't know whatever it's called, but it's renewable technology or something like that act. And these people have gotten jobs, literally have gotten job under Biden. But for whatever reason, they voted against the self-interest, you know, and 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 they listened to Trump, and I never understood. I will tell you this: some of the things I don't understand about America and the American people. When you live in Maine, Vermont, you shouldn't be worried about immigrants because you're so far from the border. They have nothing to do with your life. They have absolutely nothing to do with your life. They don't affect your life one iota. If there's an immigrant in Vermont, it's because he's visiting a family member up there. That's the only way he's gonna end up in Vermont. And that drives me nuts to see these people talking about, hey, they're worried about immigrant coming to the country. Why? Number one, that was one of the founding fathers' vision, folks. You're literally trying to destroy the founding fathers' vision. And number two, it's still having repercussions. Look around you. If this country will go to any war, any world war today, like war with China, war in any country, let's say any world war, go to any country. If we were to fight China today, we have so many Chinese people taking arms against China. That's the father's vision. People of Russia, we have people of Russian descent fighting Russians. That's the father's vision. That's a repercussion of the father's vision. They have lessened the chances of we ever going into a world war as we move forward in time. And that their vision has made us, this country, one of the greatest countries on the planet. And yes, there are so many people willing to kill it today. The founding fathers knew what they were doing, folks. You really have to take a good go read, please. Go read on the founding fathers. Please. Please. Do yourself a favor. Especially MAGA. Go look it up. Go read it. You will realize they put something in place, even they themselves couldn't hold themselves to this high standard. They couldn't. And you have benefited because of that. We all have benefited because of that. We all are better. This country is much better because of that. Because they were willing to, you know, willing to say, yeah, we can't hold ourselves to this high standard, but future generations maybe can. Maybe they will. And today, Malcolm, man, it just baffled my mind. You know how they're willing to, how they're willing to destroy this country, or they're willing to, you know, destroy the founding fathers' dream. You know, and they don't realize it, man. They should take a good look around, because you know, one of these states, can't remember if it's Colorado or something. These people want to start their own all white states. Yeah, this is just a microcosm, folks. That's what they call a microcosm. But it's not going very well. It's not going very well. They have their own issues. Yeah, they have plenty of issues. Yes, you know, people need people. They don't recognize that. They don't recognize that. They don't want to realize that we need each other. You know, I don't think we're, a man of our own making, of our own choosing, our own this, our own that. Get out of here, man. We're nothing without somebody else. We're literally nothing without somebody else helping us, stretching out a hand, guiding us. We're nothing without somebody else doing that for us. You know, and you young people and Parker debates Trump supporters. Yeah, a lot of young people just their mind is so corrupt and so twisted. You know, a lot of them would just call and kiss Parker out. Parker is a white guy, but they quick to call him the N word. Like, why? Parker's pretty white, dude. I don't see no blackness anywhere. I'm looking for Parker. The only blackness I see is Parker here. But they quick to call him the N word. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, I might get. I think eventually I'll get a few of those. Yeah, I'll let them go on though. I'm not like Parker. I ain't gonna hang on there. I'll see how long they can last. Like I said, the show is for everybody. That's what I want to stress again. This show is for everybody, but especially for the marginalized people. Anybody can call. It's not only Trump supporters. I'm not looking for only Trump supporters. I would have a problem dealing with only Trump supporters. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I might even have a problem with the limited amount of Trump supporters I get. Because my biggest thing is that you are in an alternate reality and you need to get out now. You need to live in the real world because a lot of negative things are coming down the pike. And the quicker you get out, the better you're going to be. At least the less damage is going to do to you and your family. That's how I'm going to treat them. I'm not here to, to try to, you know, oh, who is better? Carmelo, Trump, yeah, Carmelo. That time has passed. Yeah, it has passed. The election is long gone. We are about 8 months in this guy's presidency, in Donald Trump's presidency. About 8 months. So going up to 8 months. It's going to be 8 months pretty soon. And he has passed his major bill. So you can unless you're in the, or let's say 5% of the highest income in America, unless you're in that bracket, you know, even 10% people, even 10%, because 10% is what? I think, I can't remember what was the numbers. Well, next time, maybe next time I'll check the numbers again. But if you're in the 10%, you still can survive and maybe even strive. But if you're in the lower percentage, you in for some pain. And it's no sense pretending that, hey, oh, it's all good. It's no sense playing the playing politics like it's a game. It means absolutely nothing to me that you will still want to play politics like it's a game. It's not a game. It's your life. It's your family. It's your children. And you better prepare yourself for what's coming. Because unfortunately, there's no way to turn that thing around, that ship around. That ship has left the port and it's about to hit deep waters. And it's going to be there for 10 years. 10 years. So you can pretend in your alternate reality that you don't have critical thinking skills, that you cannot uh, you cannot break away from the trance you in. You could pretend all of that, but the pain is still coming. It's going to be here, like many of our farmers are finding out. Many of our red states are finding out. You can see them. You can ignore them. But you should take a look in the mirror because they are you. They are a mirror image of you. Because many of the red states, oh, they overwhelmingly voted for Trump. That's you. You, MAGA. The red states are you. They may be in farming and you may be in trucking and they in a different um, industry, but that's you. That's your brothers and sisters. They didn't they didn't consider the migrants on their farm. They know they had migrants, but Trump had amplified their hate. He had magnified their hate, their bigotry, their xenophobia. He magnified all the negative energy within them. And like I said, hate is it's very similar to cancer. It destroys the user of hate. It's very similar to cancer. So if you believe you can You can strive on hate and bigotry and xenophobia. Continue. If not here to tell you to stop, you don't have to listen to me. Continue. Because it's not my life you destroy. You need to take a look and see how much your life has improved, how it has gotten worse. Most likely, you need to take a look at it because politics is not a sport, folks. I'm going to stress that many times. It's not a sport. It's not the red team, the blue team. It's life. It's taking care of each other, looking out for each other, looking out for your family, yourself, your brothers and sisters. And the better job you do of that, the better things will, the better life would be for you and everybody else. See, farmers did not do that. Truckers did not do that. A whole bunch of industry where, like, even in police station, I know police officers overwhelmingly voted for Trump, but the thing of police officers, they have a pension fund. They have, they can make money. They can do overtime. Because we're always going to need those kind of firefighters. Some of them will suffer, but for the most part, they will survive. You know, they might not strive under Trump like if it were a Democratic president, but they will survive because the private what do you call it, society needs society social social services are needed all the time. You know, they're needed all the time. So I don't see much destruction. There will be some pain, but there will be more pain in smaller states and redder states and stuff like that. I can see more damage happening in there where they have to cut down on staff and stuff like that, and too, because you have to run a government. You need you need taxation in a lot of Republican states, man. They refuse to tax people. They refuse to tax the wealthy because the Republican politicians have convinced them, like, hey, if they give rich people a free ride, they might get something out of that. Yeah, so a lot of the states, yeah, yeah. So even like Florida going to suffer because I don't think Florida tax the rich people like New York or California. Yeah, tax you. New York would tax you. Yeah, and a lot of Republicans, man, they have a like what you call it, a thing to taxes. What's the word now? You know, I need to write down these words because they always escape me when I want ready to. They have you know, they're allergic. That's it. They're allergic to taxation. That's the word. Allergic. Yeah. They're basically allergic to taxation. Even the poor people. That's a funny thing. The people that most allergic to taxation is the are the poor people. They are the most allergic to taxation because Republicans have Republicans politicians have convinced them that taxation tax not taxing anybody is good for them. They don't realize no, it's good for the rich class. It's good for the wealthy folks. It's not good for you if you making below a certain level of income. It's bad for you because you want them to tax the rich to help lift your society, lift your state. Have your state having a certain level where you don't fall underneath that. But they have convinced you that, oh, taxation is bad, taxation is bad, taxation is bad. There are a lot of Republican states, they just let rich people get away with whatever. They let the wealthy class just walk all over everybody. And they don't realize, hey, we got much wealthy class. We need to sustain our life here. We need to equalize this thing. We need to create a certain level that all people in our community won't go under it, won't go under. They don't care about that. And and they have gotten you to play the football game and see it as a game. They have gotten you to see, politics as a game, and you on the red team. And while you winning and sending your politicians to Washington over and over again, you losing everything else. You have a deplorable life. You're living in a deplorable manner. And now you're losing your Medicaid, your SNAP benefits, everything that, I don't know what the poor receive. I don't receive those things. So I cannot tell you everything. In my mind, like I said, I don't have a good memory for a lot of these things, you know. So I have to do more writing. Pulling them out is never easy for my mind because my mind has a mind of its own, and this little will give me headaches to pull words out. Folks, keep listening to these people that don't have your best interest in heart. They never have. They never will. Some of the And the funny thing, when I look around, man, what amazes me, Republicans in the poorest states would pick some of the richest people to be their representative. I'm like, what are you doing? They really convince you like there's something special about the rich people. That you guys are willing to sacrifice everything for them. Why are you sending these people to Congress to represent you? Some of the richest folks. And what they do when they come to Congress, check what they have done. Taxes for themselves. You don't want to hold them accountable. Yeah, you don't. You refuse to hold them accountable. And instead, you're giving them a free pass. You're willing to give them a free pass because they have made you hate the things that's going to better your life. Yeah, you're on the red team. And like I said, Trump is the best. He's the best the Democrats have right now. And let me talk about Democrats and Republicans. I'm going to talk about something. I talk about a lot about Republicans. I want to talk about Democrats. Democrats, don't listen to liberals, please. Don't listen to liberals. I consider myself a liberal, but a very pragmatic liberal. Yeah, liberal. Like I love. There's what's his? Oh, It's a show I watch. There's a lot of them. A lot of these shows. I got it right. Like Midas Touch. There's Sam Cedar. It's the other one I'm looking for. Some Cedar, some Cedar. There's another one. You know. And they want to tell you that you must do something with Trump. I tried to impeach him and all that. Don't listen to them, please. Don't. Because they're not. A lot of liberals, we want to put our morals and integrity and our ethics ahead of everything. We're not willing to sacrifice for that for nothing. And that's not the way to play this game of politics. It's not. And that's why we're in this position. That's why in this, to some degree, that's why we're in this position, because we always want to play. We always want to put the morals and ethics ahead of everything, moral ethics and integrity ahead of everything else. And these people are not playing on that. They're not playing on a fair playing field. They want to win at all costs, even their supporters, even their MAGA. MAGA wants to win at all costs. They don't care. Trump wants to win at all costs. He don't care. Yeah. And he would. And if I'm pretty sure in Trump's life, he got somebody to tell him, dude, you got to stay away from Epstein. He's going to take you down. Somebody told him that. I'm pretty sure. Somebody warned him about Epstein. Because you go for life. Somebody can see where the danger zone is. You might be able to see it, but ignore it. There's somebody in your life that's going to warn you that this guy is dangerous to you. The only thing is that Trump did not listen to whoever gave him that advice. So what he's trying to accomplish of becoming a king might be difficult because he might not have enough supporters on his side to accomplish that. But Trump is hell-bent on destroying the founding fathers' dreams, the founding fathers' vision. He's hell-bent on that, but he might not have the supporters to do it because of the Epstein issue. Because that itself is wanting a lot of MAGA because they wanted the far really so bad. They cannot get past that. And they don't realize Trump can't realize the far. Trump can't realize the far that he's in just about every page he's on it multiple times on every page. Because he did not hit whoever told him that, hey, guys, away from Epstein, he did not hit that warning. People like Trump and Epstein live above the law. As a kid, as growing up, as an adult, they live above the law. Like I said, rich people are some of the most arrogant people out there. Money makes you arrogant. You got to guard against that. If you have plenty of money, it's natural with wealth to be arrogant. It's a natural component of wealth. It's embedded in wealth. So it takes a lot more energy to remain humble as a wealthy person. Because it's greed and arrogance embedded in wealth. If you're wealthy, you got to guard against greed, being greedy, and being arrogant. It's embedded in there. So these people, like Trump and Epstein, they were raised to be masters of the universe. They were literally raised to be masters of the universe. Everything was catered to them. I'm pretty sure Trump had a few warnings about, hey, This guy going to take it off, you know. And he might have thought he got away with it for all these years, you know. I'm pretty sure he never thought it would happen. Now, being president in his second term. I don't want to laugh, man. Because I know that's how it works in his head. He never thought that that's the way it would have gotten him, you know, because he have Dash and Zig and Zag and every bullet, Epstein bullet comes his way. You know, and now all of a sudden it's supporters, you know, the one thing, all the lies, the thousands, hundreds of thousands of lies. The one thing they want to stand on is on the Epstein file. I'm like, what? What's going on here? I've given you, I've given you what you wanted. You want the Roe versus Wade overturned. I've given you that. What you talking about? The Epstein file. You got what you wanted. Yeah, that's how arrogance works. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said to himself. You got your just reward. And now you understand on the Epstein files. And you want to see what is in there. And it's like MAGA, they pretend they don't know what's in there. Yeah. They don't want to pretend it. They know Trump is all over that files. They were running women. That's what we, if I were young and plenty money, and I have somebody that could set me up with chicks like Trump could, I'll be running women. I'm young. I'm a young man in my 20s. I don't have a care in the world. Come on, folks. It's common sense. You know, MAGA is not into common sense. They don't want to realize that's what was happening. They refuse to realize. What's simple as that? Those guys just should run together. You know, it's what's going on here? What the heck? Just yeah, they don't want to realize that. They don't want to, realize that's what was happening. But they know in their heart. Yeah, but but they're still in the alternate reality. They're still in their trance. So they don't want to face reality. So so they're like, oh, and they want to deny all kind of. They will deny all kind of stuff. You know, but they know deep down they know. I mean, if I'm a wealthy person and I have a dude like Trump that can set me up with chicks, young chicks especially, I've been to the young ones. Yeah, like Epstein. That's what I'm gonna be hanging around Trump all the time. Yeah, hey, do you have a new one for me? Yeah, have you gotten a new one that just because Epstein likes them really young and innocent. Like he likes to be the first. Uh, I'm not like that. I'm not into the first thing. That doesn't entice me one bit. But Epstein likes to be the first. Yeah. So I don't think Trump is like that either. But Trump just likes young ladies. But a guy like Epstein, I can guarantee, he wanted to be the first person to touch that young child. Yeah, I can guarantee you that because that's the mind. The mind is a complicated thing. It takes pleasure of many different crazy things. Yeah. For Epstein, it's being the first. If that young child, that girl had a man before, he's not interested in that. I'm pretty sure Trump got warning. He probably now wish he had listened sooner and got away from this guy. Because this guy might stop Epstein might stop Trump's dream coming true, which is trying to make America, trying to turn America, trying to become the king of America, trying to destroy the founding fathers' vision and become a king. And Epstein debacle, I believe will pull Trump down. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but back to Democrats. Democrats need not listen to people like Yank or any of these people. You are doing the right thing. Trump is the best thing Democrats have, and you have to let him do his work. You have to let him this, dish out the pain, and you cannot want to save everybody. Some people they have to learn on their own. So don't listen to the liberals out there. Trying to convince you. I know. I hear them too. That you must do something. You must impeach Trump. No, don't impeach Trump. You should have learned from your lesson that impeaching him is only going to drive his supporters to him. You know, I hope you learned that lesson. You impeach him twice, and he's back in office. You impeach him now, he'll be king. Because these people will run to his rescue. They will sacrifice anything for him. So please don't listen to the liberals out there. Don't do it. Don't let them convince you that's yes, it is the moral ethics thing to do. But politics is not all about morals and ethics, as we can see. It's so obvious. If it was all about morals and ethics, Trump never would have been in office. Not the first time, not the second time. Because it's not. Just not one thing. The other thing I would like to talk about again, I think I spoke about this on the last time. And I used to go on a show called the Rightful Perspective, the Right Perspective, or something like that. Rightful Perspective. It's pretty much Trump supporting religious guy. He's pretty religious, black dude. He's a much better speaker than me. He has a pretty good show. I would say that. It's not my type of thing because I'm not a religious guy. I used to go there and debate them. Before Trump I used to go there and debate them on them. Before Trump got into office. Yeah. I used to go there and debate them all the time. And I tell them about terror. I used to tell them about religion. I used to tell them about morals, ethics, all this stuff. But they totally believe in Trump. You couldn't convince them that Trump is bad. I tried, but I couldn't convince them. So the way to convince people is to let them, is let them go through of what Trump is doing to them. You have to let Trump turn them around, get them out of their, get an alternate reality. Trump is the best thing Democrats have right now. And there's no way you should step in to damage that or destroy that. You have to let Republicans themselves call for Trump impeachment. Republicans have to lead the charge because we don't want to create a minority that's always going to be a thing in our side. What they call it, something in our side. So yeah, let Trump, let Trump is doing the damage because, like I said, Trump could have been one of the best Republicans president. I really believe that because he got so many of the minority coalition, to vote for him. He could have turned that around. He could have said, "Well, hey, I got all these people to vote for me. I got Hispanics, I got Latinos, I got Chinese, I got even black people. You know, just about every minority group. He improved. He improved just in every minority group. So he could have turned that and make one of the greatest coalition for the Republican Party. But Trump doesn't care about people. That's what Republicans are learning today. He doesn't care about you or me. I have absolutely no reason to care about me because I'm not one of his supporters. Yeah. But he doesn't care about you either. He told you that. I just want your vote. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. That's why I say I don't care about you or I don't like you. I just want your vote. But something to that effect. He told you that himself. And because he's us only once, that is the truth. He really didn't care. As you can see, he went to the Arabs, he threw them underneath the bus. He went to the Latinos. Latinos were trial. Oh, yeah. But that's not good. Oh, yeah, I vote for you. He threw them under the bus. Venezuelans, Cubans, they all underneath the bus. Getting, they getting, they getting like, like the bus is just riding over the back and forth. They get smashed. It's not about caring for people, man. It's not into that. You know, he's not into that. Trump says, and I actually believe he believed this thing too. In my first administration, I overturned abortion. You wanted that so long. Nobody could have done it but me. I came in and I did it. You got what you wanted. Republicans, MAGA. You got it. You got what you wanted. Now it's my turn. I may not able to be a king, but I'm going to go out like a king. And that's what he's doing. Like I said, P. Diddy is smart. First, apologize to Trump and say um, somebody else had made you say that. You always like Trump, but you could blame it on your brother, sister, whoever. Make a fall guy, and then be willing to pay, and you'll be a free man. Didi, you need to hear this. You can be a free man, but you have to apologize. You have to send your surrogates out there, and get to try and say, you know what, Mr. Trump, Mr. President. You could even call him King. King Trump President, King President Trump, however you are, but make sure it's nice or something. Mr. King. Oh, Mr. King, President Trump. Yeah. Uh, this is my representative. Sending them to you to officially um, um, ask for your forgiveness. Stuff like that. You have good attorneys. They can write something pretty good, but make sure it's humble. Make sure you fall under your sword. You didn't do that. One thing you don't say you did it. Say no. Somebody has convinced you, and you no longer make up a fall guy. That's not my true feelings, man. I love you like a brother. And the more you can be convincing, the less you have to pay. So if you're not convincing, you're gonna charge your arm and a leg, but you're still gonna be free. You're still gonna be free. Okay. Yeah, but Democrats don't listen to liberals out there, please. You know, don't listen to us. Yeah. Because if it was so easy, we would have done it. Democrats would have done it. Democrats would have been in power today. This Trump plays a 30 all winners take all. We cannot get there. We cannot get in the mud with this dude. This is, the mud is not us. Yeah. We can't do the mud thing because we just can't ignore our morals, ethics, and integrity. We cannot do that as Democrats. So we have to let them do the work for us because I'll stand by, watch. And you are doing that right now and continue to do that. Stand by and watch. Don't let none of these people, Midas touch, all the talking heads on CNN, any of them, tell you need to go after Trump. No, you don't. We cannot always be the moral police. It's not always beneficial to us. Yeah, we can always be the integrity police. We losing the game of changing people's lives. And that's what a lot of our people, a lot of our people in our community that have a bigger voice than me, a much broader voice than me, don't realize. Yeah, we cannot do that. We have to actually sometimes just stand and watch. Take a stand, back off. You know? To let them convince you. You're doing an excellent job. And the last point I want to touch again, and I will keep doing this because a lot of times Republicans want to say that Democrats hire black people for tokens. And I said I used to go on this show, like the rightful perspective, I'm pretty sure. But next time I'll make sure I get all names right and all the names I can't remember. I'll try to write them down. But I'm pretty sure it's a rightful perspective. And maybe a religious person listen, they might actually want to go on this show, right? He's a Trump supporter. They excuse and actually they excuse many of his immoralities. They excuse it. It's always an excuse. It's always an excuse with Marco and Trump. They love to excuse this guy's behavior. Yeah, so I used to go on this show and I used to, blog and try to convince people about, putting ethics and thing above everything else. Did not work, But the reason I bring up this story is to let people, a lot of people, especially black people, and black men in particular, they would say that Democrats use black people as tokens. And I used to ask them, then where are my tokens on the Republican side? I want my tokens. I want my black tokens. You know, even though in some sense it's offensive, but if it's if you want to say that Democrats are hiring black people as tokens, then why not you doing the same? Why don't you have more black representatives in the Republican Party? You know, and and stop them from prostrating themselves, bootlicking themselves. Tell them they can have. I would love to see a revamped Republican Party where people can have their morality, ethics, and their belief, their cultural belief that they don't have to sacrifice those things. But in the Democratic Party, we don't ask black people to sacrifice those things. We actually want them to elevate those things, to put them things on display. And one way Republicans constantly want to put the Democratic Party is try to say that black people are being hired as tokens. They're like, are you crazy? And there are a lot of black people, especially black men, that believe that nonsense. They actually believe that nonsense. They cannot, it's like your eyes, they're looking forward straight and pretending their eyes are deceiving them. Because when they look at the Democratic Party, up and down, everywhere, in all circles, in all venue, black people play a major role, in the Democratic Party. And other minority groups are coming up in the Democratic Party. We are willing to elevate people, you know, you know, black, any group, you know, you know, Hispanics, Asians, you know, we're willing to do that. We don't ask them to sacrifice their morals and their ethics and their integrity and and disavow their culture and their color. We don't ask them to do these things. No, we ask them to hey, that's who you are. Show you are. You get straight, whatever. Be yourself. And they want to talk. They have that saying, they want to denigrate. They constantly want to denigrate the Democratic Party as not being black. Like, are you crazy? If there's one party that black people make a substantial difference, it's the Democratic Party. Since the Clinton years, since Clinton, black people has had a greater say in picking who is the president, picking who's our candidate for president. They have a greater say than any minority groups. Sometimes they're the one that pick. They're the one that pick it. They pick Biden. Remember, Biden was dead when he left. I think, Idaho. Is Idaho? Somebody will correct me. Hopefully, I'll get somebody on this side. I'll get somebody on this side. You know, Biden was dead in the water. Black people revised Biden candidacy, and he went on to become the president. Yeah. So, it just boggled my mind. But I know what they're doing. They know there are a lot of people that want to believe that nonsense. That when Republicans say it, it has some kind of validity to it. They want to believe it has some kind of validity to it, some kind of relevance. So and a lot of black people, and especially on the Trump, because um, Trump main point or main saying was, was what they have done for you. So he didn't say what they have done for black people. He said what they have done for you. So he made it very personal. Yeah. So when you make something personal like that, it's about me. It's not about the collective. That's how good the politicians are. Please, man. I'll keep telling you. I'll keep saying that. Yeah. So he made it personal about you. So, and a lot of black men, like if their life is they're in a difficult part of their life, because we all go from some difficulties. They will say, "Oh, the Democratic Party hasn't helped me," or hasn't. But the Democratic has helped black people as a whole to rise, to elevate themselves, and we are in every facet of the Democratic Party. We play a major role in every facet of the Democratic Party. The next minority groups maybe his Latinos, because they have learned their lesson, being kicked in the teeth like Trump has done to them. It's not for to see them going Republican anytime soon. A lot of them were reluctant to come on board. And they had a lot of them, and go into dictatorship and why Trump was, and that's also connected to Trump. Why Trump was so good at getting a lot of Latinos, like Cubans, especially Cubans, people that were feeling from dictatorship countries. That's another story to tell. We'll go into that in depth. Yeah, until when we start getting calls there, that's you know. Hopefully, I don't get clobbered by instead of changing minds, they're going to change my mind. Ah, somebody, if a, if a Republican can do that to me, I'll give all the credit in the world. You know, I don't think there's one out there. It's the ideology. It's not good for ordinary people. The ideology with their belief. It's not good for ordinary people. It's always, it favors the rich. And someday I might be rich, but I don't want to. I will never adopt that ideology. That's not for me. Uh, I cannot see myself just looking down on the less fortunate. Is that my thing? That's not who I am. I'll corrupt my soul. That ever, but I would like myself. You know, it's not always about making money. It's not always having the best life and everybody else, and you don't give a damn about the rest. You know, that's not who I am. So I see anybody convincing me to become that. Yeah, and that's what a lot of MAGA cannot realize. It's not good for you. It's not good to be envious of what the rich has, because that's blinding you. You know, it's better if you say, "Hey, you have so much, give us some, give the less fortunate some." because then I can, and someday I might be able to become you. They don't realize what MAGA doesn't realize is that somebody like Trump and all his rich buddies in his administrations are not going to make them rich. They don't realize that, you know. They don't realize that's how you become rich. The way you become rich is to heighten the flow above everybody try to heighten the flow to a certain level for everybody. And then because you have heightened that flow, one or two, three or four of you will pop up. That's how it works. So the higher you can bring the flow, the easier you can get to the top. But they're doing the opposite. They're lowering the flow. They're making it harder for people to come out of the poverty or the middle class or anywhere else that matter and come into their class. Their class is becoming exclusive because they're lowering the flow. That's what they're doing. They're literally lowering the flow. They're eviscerating the middle class. In another, by the time Trump leaves office, it's going to be two classes. It's either you're rich or you're poor, and very little in between. Two classes of people in America because they're destroying the founding fathers' vision and all what that. Because of that vision, we have accomplished so much, folks. We get the best minds. It's not the best minds. It's not how we get the best minds. We get good people that when they come in here, because of the structure, the environment we have, their minds are able to flourish. So it looks like we get the best minds. But it's the environment the founding fathers have created that get these people mind to flourish. It's like a plant. If you water it properly, it grows. So, when they say the best mind, it's not necessarily the best mind. You know, it's just that we have an environment where people can grow and prosper. And it looks like we're getting the best mind. Because if you look like you're like people from India that come here, people from anywhere, China, Japan, all these countries, Russia, they come in here and there's a environment that they can grow and prosper. And that looks like we took the best mind from India. But we didn't take the best mind. We just take people from India. We take people from Russia. We take people from Japan. And we put them in an environment where they can grow and prosper. That's what America, that's what the founding father vision is all about. Yeah. That's what it's all about, folks. So it looks like, and a lot of people say that, it looks like, oh, we didn't go in India and take the best people. No, we took it of all stripes and all colors. Some of them came here and they had nothing in their name. They will tell you that themselves. I hope to get a whole bunch of immigrants and minorities and the downtrodden, gay, lesbian, anybody, especially the the marginalized people to come and tell their story. I hope to be somebody sitting here and just listening to somebody's story instead of and everybody listening to me. I hope that's the case. Tell the story. Get if they can't tell it themselves, get somebody else to tell it for them. Because you will learn that all we take was good people striving for a better life, and and in time they have become our best minds. They have become our greatest achievements. But all they were doing was striving for the better life for them and their family. And the founding father created an environment that they can grow, that we can grow. But first, we need to stop looking and be envious of each other. That's the most one of the most dangerous things about MAGA right now. Is the envy game. They give this constant. You hear them give this constant um, denigrating story about immigrants. Oh, you work in a place, a manufacturing place, and the immigrants will come up to me and tell me how they on food stamps and snaps and this. They're getting Medicaid. And, you know, you listen to Baba, like, why would somebody that fear of the law, you know, trying to take care of their family, trying to remain in secret, you know, will tell you all this stuff about them so you can really, kind of destroy their life. You can turn their life upside down. But like, why would I tell you that? I'm not gonna tell you my most secretive things, excuse, excuse me, folks. Thing about me, my most inner thoughts. I'm looking for the right word here. About me. Come on. So, so I could put my family and me and my family in jeopardy. That's what I want to do. That's why I want to live my life in fear of telling somebody. If I'm doing these things, I will not tell nobody. And number one, because it's already against the law. And it's number two, it's not easy to do. So if I'm getting something somewhere else where it can benefit my family, why would I jeopardize that? And they swear these people are just dumb and stupid. Like, come on, dude. But it's all you just envy because he just happened to be working in your place and you don't appreciate that. He just happened to be working in the same place you work in. And you don't like that. You think this should all be for Americans, not for him. He's a foreigner. And right now, Margaret, that's like any foreigners in their country. You hear them and how they talk, how they disparaging manner. They don't care for any foreigner being in their country. They want to wreck the founding fathers' vision. They go against the founding party. They're tired of getting all the good stuff it has given them. That's all it is. All the good stuff. Now, now we have become the greatest nation on this planet. Now we can kick all the foreigners out, all the immigrants out. We can get rid of them. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. As you can see, same way you cannot even create a utopia or white utopia. It's the same way you're going to suffer. Because the founding father knew a whole lot more than you. They do. They knew a whole lot more than you. And that's why they set it up this way. And you should appreciate that. Michael, you need to appreciate what the founding fathers have done to make this country one of the greatest, the envy of the world. And that's something I'm going to be preaching again and again and again. The founding fathers' vision, the ramification is still having to us today. Look around. We are the envy of the world. Every country is striving to become like us. With all our flaws, with all our problems, every country wants to be like America. Yeah. But a lot of them don't realize you got to put in the foundation. Our founding father did that for us. They put in the foundation. And because of that, we're striving today that we have become the envy of the world. So, Margaret, please don't destroy that, because you will be destroying yourself once more in the process. Like I said, hate is very similar to cancer. It destroys the user of hate. Something I'll be preaching a lot on this channel. Hate destroys the user of hate. It's not an energy that can better your life. If you want an energy that can better your life, love. That's a healing energy. Makes you feel good. When you feel good about somebody else, man, poof. You know, like your kids, your significant other, when you feel good about that person, it's just a beautiful feeling inside of you. You know, like everything is easy, comes easy. Everything you're doing for them, it's just a walk in the park. It's no big deal. Yeah. So, Margaret, don't throw the founding father's dream away. You will regret it for a long time to come, because it will affect you and future generations. It will have a negative effect on you and future generations. Don't throw something good like that outside the window. Yeah. Don't go down that road. As much as Trump wants to pull, you need to pull him back from the ledge. You're not taking me down with you. I don't want to go down that road. That road has given us so many things, you know, and even world, and we are on the verge of getting world peace. Because, like I said, I cannot see many countries want to go to war with us, because we have so many of their people, you know. In America, there are so many of them, you know, so many Japanese here, so many Chinese here, you know. South Koreans, I don't know much about that. I cannot tell you the numbers, but we probably have a significant, you know, or a striving minority of South Koreans here. So any country that we may go to war with, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see a lot of that country people fighting fighting them. They're gonna be like, what? I have to fight American? I have to fight. Black people, I would say Hispanics, and Chinese to my own people. They're not gonna like that because the founding fathers' dream have desegregated the world. Yeah, desegregated the world. They're segregated. Desegregated the world and make it a much smaller place today. That's the founding fathers' dream right there. It's still having ripples effect. It's still having rippling effect. Rippling effect. Still having. Anyway, folks, it's time to end this stream for today. We'll try to do that every morning. Every morning at late 8 o'clock. You know, so, you know, so anybody listening to the stream, you're welcome. Tomorrow morning we'll try to do it again at 8 o'clock. Hopefully get a call or two. And I'm gonna be so excited when I get my first call. I wouldn't know what to do. I'm not very good at it. Hiding my excitement uh, or my emotions. I'm a very emotional guy. So don't be surprised when I start crying on this stream. When somebody's telling their story, I start crying. Don't be surprised. And that is very emotional. You know, yeah, that's me. I am me. This is me. All right, folks. Have a good day. See you tomorrow morning. Talk to you. Bye.